So it seems like every time I turn on the news these days or listen to a podcast or read anything, everybody's talking about fight or flight. So I think that all of us experience kind of this low-lying anxiety, and I've just been reading a lot and studying a lot about that and what that does if you're in that space so much and you have all that adrenaline and cortisol that is pumping into our bodies constantly, and the long-term effects that that has, not just on our body, but on our brains, on our minds, on our emotions. So, Carla, what are some ideas you have about how to, in your practice as a yoga teacher, like what are some ideas you have about calming down that mechanism in us?
It's just interesting when you study the fight or flight mechanism of the brain. And I mean, historically, we needed it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of danger. You know, there were animals or even other people coming into our homes, and, you know, and also we were hunters and gatherers, so we always had to be very aware. And we don't anymore, you know, especially in America. I mean, we are so blessed. We are almost always safe, you know, almost always everything is okay. But because we still have that active part in our brain, sometimes we actually will create stress where there is none.
Yeah.
You know, and our body learns to almost operate and function on that shot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
So in the yoga practice, the movements of yoga, the postures of yoga are only one aspect of yoga. But what coming to our mat does is it creates a space of safety, time. A lot of times we're in an environment with people that, you know, accept us. So coming into the breath, it's that simple. You know, Eckhart Tolle says 3 breaths, any situation. You can change any situation with 3 breaths.
Yeah.
So if we will take a moment and take the breath in and calm down, instead of reacting to whatever's happening, whether it's something silly like traffic,
Yeah.
or something big like somebody's fallen off the roof,
Yeah.
you know?
But what about, you know, for Rachel and I talked about this the other day. In fact, I was over at her house and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like this inner, I can't explain it other than just like this inner, like
A racing feeling.
that it's just like I can't, it almost feels like your nervous system's on overdrive.
Which
It is.
And it's like even doing the 3 breaths, you can try that and it helps.
Then come to a regular practice, whether that practice is yoga or walking or running, somewhere that your body is moving physically, because until you can learn to slow down your brain, you can't really go sit on your mat and meditate for 10 minutes. You're not ready, you know? So, but by walking and when you have those, you know, people will say, I can't meditate, I always start thinking about something. So do the monks in the caves.
Yeah,
you know,
everyone
it's
does.
like 60,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 59,000 of those are the same thoughts you had yesterday. And
But there's only one that you're like,
oh, true.
that's original.
But if you can be quiet and create that space where whatever your word is, whether it's God, the divine, your inner self, if you can create a quiet space where that little knowing light can come in and maybe whisper a new idea, but you have to be quiet,
Yeah.
you know? We don't, we're afraid to be quiet.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's so
you know,
funny.
we're
Yeah.
afraid.
And I do think that when you were saying move your body, I think like a magical combination is music, movement, and sun. And to what you were saying earlier, Carla, I think that we've become this culture where being busy means that you're somehow
Yeah, it
really
makes
important.
us so important.
Yeah.
I'm so busy.
Although there
It's
are
like,
people, and I feel like I'm one of those that I am wired, like I like being busy. I like having things going on. I can go down for a little bit, and sometimes I need that because everything cycles.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I like, but it's not
There's a
because this
different kind
sense
of busy.
of, okay, now you know, if I'm busy, then that says this about me. It's genuinely something, a part of
And
me
you're
and how I'm
You have
built.
a lot going on. Busy, when I say busy, I mean that feeling of where you keep yourself in a hyper state of awareness, where you create that adrenaline that keeps just running, that makes you feel like because I have this going, then I'm somehow being productive. And it's actually counterproductive. It actually starts
Yeah,
shutting
you
down
actually
access to
can't.
those parts of the brain that help you think.
And you are busy. You own a business. You have children. You have a lot of family that live close to you. You know, you are busy.
It's a lot of roles.
Well, and we really all
We
are.
all
Yeah.
are, but still, if you can come to a place of stillness, not all day, you know, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, if you can just create that space, it's amazing what opens up. And when you have that space, your body craves more of that space. And so when you find yourself going in to create drama, you're going to take a minute and say, I don't really need to do that, you know, or when the drama and the stress come, you're coming from a space of, I can do this.